Alrighty, thank you for being here, Mr. Vanderzee.
Pleasure.
So today I'm going to interview you about bikes in Pittsburgh. So I guess my first question for you is, have you ever biked in Pittsburgh?
Yes, I have. I'm not a super frequent bike user, but I have a bike here. I've ridden it around campus, gone to class via bike, and I'm familiar with some of the bike infrastructure around here. I've used some of the bike trails and some of the on-street bike paths and, actually street biked. So.
Very cool, yeah. It can be interesting. So is there anything that you like about the current way that bikes are treated in Pittsburgh or infrastructure?
I think it's definitely going in the right direction. I think there's been a lot of positive change in the last 5 or so years just in the visibility of bikes around Pittsburgh. I think there's a long way to go. I do like that there's been an increase in just the number of marked bike routes in Pittsburgh, and the accessibility of information about biking in Pittsburgh. There's some great resources out there, like Bike Map Pittsburgh, which can show you, all different routes around the city. The bike share program that's been rolled out around Pitt's campus has been very successful. So I think the implementation of bike infrastructure has been going a long way. I think it's still kind of spotty depending on what neighborhood you're in, and I think there should be more connectivity probably between neighborhoods. And there are some issues still, but I think people are aware of biking, a lot more aware of biking than they used to be, as a viable means of transportation, for sure.
Great, yeah. I mean, that covered so much. So I guess on a micro level, not just the whole city, but is there any place just even in just Oakland or another part of the city specifically that you would maybe a segregated bike lane with actual physical dividers and not paint or something like that, or a redesigned intersection somewhere?
Yeah, I mean, I know that a big obstacle to me biking a lot more is Boulevard of the Allies, which is, I'm sure you agree.
Yeah.
I like biking around the trails in Shenley, and I like going through Shenley to get to campus, but it's a big obstacle. I tend to use the local streets when I'm trying to bike over there, because Boulevard of the Allies is such a high capacity, high traffic, fast road, and the number of stops can be infrequent. So it would be great to see some improvement along there. I know that the Walnut Capital proposal for the Zulema Park area includes a bike lane, converting part of Boulevard of the Allies into a bike lane. But I mean, there's bike lanes around, Shenley Park and some of the smaller arterial streets of Oakland. So it would be nice to have more of a major connection between the park and campus through Boulevard.
No, yeah, definitely. It's like playing Frogger, whether you're on a bike or if you're walking. So, I guess, I know that you're an architecture student, so I guess when you're designing things, I know you said you're designing a bike shop right now, but in terms of even just not even streets, but just buildings, is there any way that things like bike racks or ramps or something goes into your work?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, disregarding the fact that, a lot of my program right now is a bike shop, and, that's kind of the central idea of my project right now. My project last semester, during my third year, was it was a sustainable multi-family housing unit, and we incorporated biking, and it was located in Oakland, the site was in Oakland, and we incorporated biking into kind of a central public space.
Mm-hmm.
So we incorporated bike racks, protected bike lanes, and kind of made recommended changes along Atwood Street for bike users. And so that's a way to incorporate just cycling infrastructure into buildings.
Well, yeah, I mean, that sounds great. I know how important it is for that to be built in from the start as an architect, as a designer. That's really valuable work. And then uh, you've brought up so many good things, but I think the number one question that everyone asks, whether you like bikes or you don't want bikes, and just like a quick answer to this, um, do you think if the infrastructure was better, if you felt safer, do you think you would bike around Pittsburgh more?
Oh yeah, for sure. If I felt safer, I think one of the major issues right now is kind of the city's trying to balance adding all these new bike lanes with still keeping on-street parking in a lot of places. So I mean, one of the biggest challenges for cyclists anywhere, not just Pittsburgh, is side swiping. That tends to be the plurality of actually bike accidents, is people getting hit with car doors, because you have like, especially in Pittsburgh, a lot of kind of blind, maybe winding turns, and you don't necessarily see someone coming up on a bike. So I think if more of these bike lanes were protected and you didn't have parking on one side, it would feel a lot safer, and that would encourage more people to actually use biking to get around.
Yeah, I completely agree. Well, thank you for your time, Jared, and hope to
Thank
speak
you.
with you again soon.
Thank you.